And then I'm going to share my screen. Can everyone see my screen right now? Thank you so much. So today we have the pre-health conference regular attendee info session. This is going to be applicable for people that are registering for the pre-health conference um, for themselves and not for like a group registration. If you're interested in group registration, that will be another info session that's happening in the near future. But before we get started, we're going to do some introductions from the leadership team. So as I mentioned before, my name is Gordon. I am one of the strategic communications coordinators for this year's pre-health conference. And what I do is that we basically do marketing and outreach for the conference. So if you ever see an email about attendees, or if you ever see an Instagram story, or you ever see an Instagram post, that's most likely made by me and my team. So we just want to get the word out about conference as much as we can. Who would like to go next on the leadership team?
I can go next. Hi everyone, my name is Nikita. I am a second year NPB major at Davis, and I am on the pre-health conference leadership team. I'm an attendee recruitment coordinator, and I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you guys at conference this year.
I can go ahead and go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Rohan. I'm an upcoming fourth year, and I am the Interactive Programming Assistant Coordinator. So with programming, we deal with all the workshops. I'll talk a little bit more later on about what the workshops entail, but we basically plan it. We recruit the speakers for our workshops, and we try to make sure you guys have a good time at the workshop. So that's what programming does.
Thank you so much, Nikita and Rohan. And we're going to move on to more about the pre-health conference. So for the pre-health conference, we just want to let you all know that like last year, it will be in person on November 2nd, 2024. So mark your calendars. And we just want to say how Health Professions Advising at UC Davis hosts the nation's largest student-run pre-health conference with over 3,000 registered attendees and the help of 150 plus student volunteers. So yes, we do have career staff that kind of supervises and provides support, but it's students like you and me that are really taking lead on organizing the conference, organizing the volunteers, the exhibitors, the marketing materials. So it wouldn't be possible without the support of many students. And the pre-health conference is a great opportunity to explore 20 plus health fields, and you're able to connect with many admissions and practicing health professionals. And just a little note that we have about the pre-health conference, we have the pre-health fair, which has over 200 plus exhibitors. So there is a lot to explore on the day of conference. And then we also have 3 workshop sessions that will span like 70 plus workshops. So there's always something to learn on the day of conference. So this is kind of like a sneak peek for those that are here today. So the theme for this year's conference is going to be Reaching for the Stars, Your Journey in Healthcare. And if you haven't noticed, we kind of have like a little bit of constellation like throughout the presentation. So that's the theme that we're going for. And we're really excited to see how this theme turns out for the conference. So in some ways, y'all are the first to hear it. So we're really excited for that. And take it away, Nikita.
Thanks, Gordon. Okay, so there are going to be a whole bunch of health fields represented at the pre-health conference. Some of them are included on the slide, like, there's public health, pharmacy, dentistry, medicine, allied health fields. There's a whole bunch of like opportunity to explore different health fields at the pre-health conference if you're still trying to figure out what exactly you want to do. But it's a great experience and there are a lot of opportunities. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, okay. So some exhibitors we've had in the past are UC Davis, UCLA, UCSF, Berkeley. So it's a great chance to network with admissions representatives. We can go to the next slide. Okay, so as a pre-health conference, as a pre-health student on the day of conference, what you can kind of expect is a pre-health fair from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So we have a whole bunch of exhibitors out on the field, and you can walk around, talk to admissions representatives, like test prep companies, um, things like that. And then from 1 to 4, there are going to be a bunch of workshops that you can register for. And Rohan will go into the different kinds of workshops and how that's set up later. But they're interactive workshops and then didactic workshops, which they're really fun. And then you'll also get a chance to ask questions to a couple admission panels. Next slide. So conference is really what you make of it. And so you want to go into the day prepared. A couple of things you can do are make sure you're dressed business casual. So, button down shirts and trousers. You want to have comfortable shoes. You're going to be, standing for quite a while, especially as you walk around the field. And some attendee essentials that we've kind of, from the past few years, we've found out are that it's great to have a blazer or a jacket. It's pretty cold in the morning, but it gets quite warm in the afternoon. Having a pen or notebook to take notes on the things that you're learning about from these admissions representatives is great. Having food and water are big, especially water. It gets quite hot up here in Davis in this, like especially in like September and October, November. It's pretty warm. We also we also recommend that you guys bring your own lunches. Lunch is not provided as part of your pre-health conference like fee. Next slide.
But just to add one more thing, there are a lot of eateries around like outside of campus, so that is another option that you could look into if you don't have like any food brought with you. I'll go to the next slide.
Okay, and then again, like the day of conference, attendee registration, you'll be able to line up and start checking in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and each of you will get a bag and a name tag. And the field is organized by different health professions. So I know I listed a whole bunch earlier, and it sounds a little bit overwhelming, but you guys will get kind of like a guide of how the field is set up. So you'll know exactly like what areas of the field you can go, like look for like dentistry or, PA or nursing. So that's really awesome. And it'll be it should be in your, like your program guide, which you'll get before conference.
Okay, so moving on to workshops, like Nikita mentioned, the later half of the day is going to be where you're going to be going to different workshops and they're going to be across campus. So if you're familiar with campus, you might have a workshop in the TLC or you can have one in California Hall. It's going to be on the program guide. So workshops, they're split into didactic and interactive workshops. Didactic workshops are more lecture style. So you could imagine we could have like an admissions panel as our didactic workshop, or we could have like, you'll see on this slide, we have different examples of what we had in the past, but it's more so we have a speaker talking to you and it's less interactive in that sense and more informative. So yeah, in the past we've had like how to secure a letter of recommendation, or if you want to learn about an MD PhD route, we had an info session about that. So just a lot of panels, it could be an info session, but it's more so a way to just like learn about a specific topic. And for didactic workshops, you'll see compared to interactive workshops, you don't need a ticket for. So you can see on our program guide or on the PHC conference website, once we do have the finalized workshop schedule, which didactic workshops you would like to attend. And you can go ahead and go to that room and attend that didactic workshop. But the interactive workshops, I'll say in the later slide, you'll do need a ticket for, and the process for obtaining a ticket is a bit different. So one thing I didn't forget to mention is across during from 1 to 4 during the workshop time, there's 3 workshop sessions. And so essentially an attendee can go to 3 workshops and one of them would be an interactive workshop. And the other 2 could be a didactic workshop. And yeah, so next slide. Okay, so interactive workshops, like the title suggests, they're interactive and they're a bit like a smaller group, just so it can be more engaging and the speaker can engage with each attendee. And so some examples of what we had was a personal statement review. So you could bring your personal statement and have it, and either like our speaker or some sort of admissions officer review your personal statement and give you feedback. We've had like a CPR class, as you can see in the photo. So if you ever want to learn CPR or try that out, we had that for you. One that we didn't write out here, but the pictures on was how to perform a vet exam, and we did that on a goat. So there's not many opportunities to do a vet exam on a go or like explore that. So that's kind of the point of interactive workshops, to just be more hands-on with health and with the pre-health conference. And then we can go to the next slide. And so I'll just talk a bit more about how interactive tickets are going to work. We haven't ironed out all the details yet, but we definitely, once you register as an attendee, once attendee registration closes, we send out an email to all of our attendees about how to sign up for an interactive ticket. So we definitely will communicate how to. But in general, so each interactive workshop session is going to require a ticket. And then you can only get 1 ticket per attendee. So how it works is after attendee registration closes, like I mentioned, we'll send an email out about when ticket registration opens, and you would reserve your ticket online. Last year and in the past, we've used Eventbrite. We're still unsure if we're going to continue forward with it, but again, we'll let you guys know. But you're going to reserve your ticket online before conference. And so after registration closes and before conference is the time when you would get your ticket. And then from there, once you've reserved your ticket online, the day of conference, you will go ahead and pick up a physical ticket. And then with that physical ticket, you can find out the room location and then go to that interactive workshop. One thing I would mention is once, let's say you've registered already, and then once you've gotten this confirmation email, once the registration closes, I would go onto that website and try to reserve your ticket for the workshop you want to go to as soon as you can, because it can get a little competitive. So in the past, we've had like the mock MMI workshop be super popular, and not every attendee gets to go to that workshop. So the quicker you get to it, the better. But that's pretty much it for the interactive tickets. Again, we'll definitely send out more details in the future once we have more information about it, but that's essentially it. Are there any questions? I don't know if we're doing questions at the end, but I'm open whenever.
If not right now, then you all could ask questions during like our little Q&A at the end. But yeah, we'll continue on.
Okay, last but not least, how to register for the conference. Registration is super easy. All you got to do is you can scan the QR code, you can go to the pre-health conference website, but for UC Davis students, attendee registration is $25. For non-UC Davis students and alumni, it's $35. And if you're an advisor, it's $100. And make sure when you're registering and you go onto the website and you click attendee registration, you're not like, make sure you're not on group registration or anything like that. You should be on attendee registration. And if you're trying to register as a group, make sure you're not like as just regular attendee registration. That should be group attendee registration. So after you register, you'll receive a confirmation email, and you guys will be able to cancel till um you guys will be able to cancel. But if you want to cancel, you have to email events@ucdavis.edu. And we don't have a waiting list for attendees. And so we recommend that you guys register early because, in the past, we've had registration sold out like before the day of conference. Once again, if you want to register for the conference, you should be able to scan this QR code or go to the pre-held conference website. You can go to the next slide. Do you guys have any questions?
Does anyone, I'll give a few more seconds for y'all to scan the QR code if you're interested. Oh, I think there's a question in the chat. Um, Nikita, can you answer when the registration deadline for a conference is?
Yes. So there's no registration deadline for conference, but we typically sell out of tickets before conference. Like in 2023, we sold out a week in advance. It could be sooner. So we recommend getting your tickets as soon as possible.
And then to answer your question, we will have a recording of this presentation posted on our website. Yeah, this Zoom meeting is recorded right now. Yeah. But okay. Well, thank you, Nikita, for chiming in. And then that's pretty much it for our presentation. Does anyone have like any final questions you want answered about maybe like the workshops, the pre-auth fair, registration, anything in particular? You could type it in the in the chat, or you can like unmute yourself. During the conference, is it possible, okay, to leave early, or is it expected that attendees attend the entire event? Um, to my understanding, attendees do not need to stay for the duration of the event. Yeah, it's okay to leave early. Yeah. And then the time is from morning to evening. So registration is gonna start at 6 in the morning, but then the workshops are going to conclude at 3. So it'll be like the conference will end around in the afternoon. Yeah. Rohan, Nikita, would you all like to answer the last question? What are some tips to maximize our time at conference or overcome nervous jitters?
Yeah, I can totally chime in. So my first pre-health conference was actually last year's. So I wasn't really entirely sure going into it. One thing I would say for the pre-health fair specifically is be prepared to just try to, speak up and like put yourself out there because you'll see at the booths, the lines are really, really long. And so everyone's trying to talk to these admissions officers. So you really just have to be as active as possible, like really try to introduce yourself, have questions prepared. That's one thing I wish I did, like about the school, or maybe you can ask more about like medicine or like what their admissions process is. And yeah, always pick up the freebies. That always helps. And everyone else is pretty nice and like really nice. So I like to talk with other attendees and like kind of like a group conversation as well, just so maybe the line could even move faster. But just to overcome nervous jitters, everyone's here to learn. They're here to talk to you. They came from like out of state coming in to talk to you guys. So Everyone's super understanding. It's just it could get kind of tiring. But I think the best way to come over like nervousness is just be best prepared with questions so you don't like maybe freeze up on the spot. But Nikita, do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, definitely. I think like being prepared, have like come dress in business casual, business like formal clothes. Have yeah, like as Rohan said, have your questions prepared. Like really go into it like knowing that you're gonna get out of the conference what you put in. If you go and you spend your time at conference, asking questions and trying to like learn more about different health fields, you're going to get a lot more out of the conference than if you're just kind of, walking around, not really talking to people. So, like keeping that in mind, like this is like your pre-health journey and you got to like put like definitely put in the effort to come prepared to the conference and then the day of like you'll know like you did what you can to prepare and you'll feel good about it. Like I think from my pre after attending my first pre-health conference, I think similar to what Rohan said, like I wish I had come with a list of questions. um but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Any other thoughts or questions?
I think we have one question in the chat. How do each health programs at different or at various universities differ from each other? What are some examples of differentiation? I can give an example. So like Samuel Merritt University, for example, has several health programs under it. So they could have what's it called? Like what's I think a nursing program and they have a physical therapy program. So they can be one school can come in and represent different health.
I I think like another example that I could think of is Western University in Southern California. I know they have a DO school, a PA school, a vet school, and like a general college of health sciences. So yeah, I will say it's a really great opportunity to kind of like explore uh each program the school offers and just kind of get to know more about what you might be interested in, what you might want to look into. So yeah. Any other questions or thoughts? Okay, so I think if there are no other thoughts or questions, that's totally fine. Uh, you're still more than welcome to email us at prehealthconference@ucdavis.edu, or you can check out our Instagram page, UCD prehealth, and just send us a DM. We'll be more than happy to answer your question. But yeah, thank you so much for coming by and learning more about pre-health conference, and y'all had really great questions. So keep it up. I really appreciate it. And we hope to see you on this November. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think you're free to leave now.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, so will there be a list of what universities that will attend the conference before it starts? Yes. So we we are updating the website. If you go onto our pre-health conference website, you can see like a running list of exhibitors that are going to be at the conference, and this will be updated from time to time. So you will know like which exhibitors and universities will be at the pre-health fair as well as like the workshops. But yeah, but you will also get a program with all the schools on it on the day of conference. Yeah, great question though. I like that. Yes, so this list is updated from time to time. I want to say like every once a week or so, because we're still in the process of recruiting exhibitors. So I think yeah, just keep an eye out on the website. We have like a tracker of like how many more like standard, bronze exhibitor, gold, platinum. So yeah, just be on the lookout for it. Um, when would you expect a final school list? Um, Nikita, are you able to answer that question?
Yeah, so we're actually not, we don't have like a set date where we expect the final school list, from my understanding. But as we get closer to conference, you guys will all definitely be updated and you can check out the website. That's it's a really great like resource. We keep updating it as we get information from schools. Yeah. Rohan, do you have any other information?
No, basically what you pretty much said. I know exhibitor registration is currently open, so as that comes in, we can let attendees know as well on how that's going and who's registered.
I can add to it. The last day for exhibitors to register is September 27th. But obviously that date would only occur if we have not sold out by then for exhibitor spots. We do have a limited number of spots. So if they go prior to that date, then we'll have our final list by then.
Thank you, Sierra, Nikita, and Rohan. Any other questions so far?
Oh, you're muted.
Gordon, you're muted.
Thank you. If you don't have any more questions right now, but you still have some later, you can still DM us, email us, check our website for more information. But yeah, I hope you all have like a really good day for the most part.
Thank you.